I would like to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by the Dolphin Wars.
Well, hello all. How did you all like that intro by our own antiderivative Jill, and with Chief Miles O'Brien just jamming out to the doors. Welcome, Jill. How are you?
I'm doing great. I did find that video on YouTube. I didn't make it, but I really love it, and I use it on my channel quite a bit whenever anybody has any exciting news.
Yeah, I love that. I love that that video, and I've also read some of those strips. The strip is called Chief O'Brien at Work. And,
yes,
they're pretty funny.
They're pretty funny. They're also a little bit dark in their humor.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder the artist of them. Of that strip. His last name is Adams, and just the concept, I know it's a different name, so I'm wondering if they're related, and the concept matches Dilbert so much that I wonder if he's related to the creator of Dilbert.
I don't think he is, but that's an interesting point. It's possible.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody to King Dolphin TV. You know me, I'm Raymond, author of the Dolphin Wars series of books and ruler of the best pod in YouTube. And welcome to the stream. Today we're going to continue our discussion of DS9 with our own amazing antiderivative Jill. And we're going to have a different topic today. We all know that a large part of Deep Space Nine are the characters and character developments. You've got the icons such as Cisco, Kira, and then they develop all the way down to the lesser known characters such as Nog. So I decided and talked it over with Jill that we're going to go on a different tack today. We're going to discuss the important bromances and frenemies. The motto is, who is friend and who is foe? But before we get started, if you like what we're doing here on the channel, if you love the interviews that I do and the fun we do in the pod, please like and subscribe. And also, if you know anybody who needs to be interviewed, who needs to come on to King Dolphin TV, please send me their names and I'll reach out to them and we'll get them on. So let us welcome everybody on the chat right now. Currently, we have, let's see. We got the Wrench Team Supreme. We've got Legatus Legionii. We've got John Rendell. Lenrod has come on. And of course, I would be remiss if we did not introduce our chandelier hanging bear. Snorta Poopas! Cooper. And Snort, how you doing, Snort? And we got Psychosis 29. How are you doing, sir? I'm glad to have you on. Hope your channel's going well. Please look up Psychosis 29 and look up his channel and subscribe to him. He's working on getting a channel going, and hopefully it will be a success.
That's wonderful. Always
Yes.
great when we have new content creators.
Mm-hmm. So, Jill, before we get started, man, we were talking in the back. You're doing. How are you doing? How's your week been so far?
My week so far has been pretty great. I had a couple of streams about the original series and the animated series.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see if the bot is going to work.
Every week. So that's fun. And no, the bot's not working. Sorry about that. I'm sorry I even recommended it. We need to try a different one.
Yeah.
Streamlabs is going to be the next bet.
Well, but fortunately, I have the link here and can copy it.
True. Copy and paste works.
Yes,
it still works.
Yes, it does. So, Lenrod says the bot tries, but he's just the bot. Here is Jill's channel. Please like and subscribe her. She does some great Star Trek content, Orville content. I want to get back to your UFO stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've been having some special Star Trek streams lately, and I will get back to the UFO stuff in a couple of weeks.
Okay, great. So, and maybe I can talk you into, or maybe I'll do it, start doing some stuff on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. That was one of my favorite sci-fi series.
That sounds great. I did be experiencing it for the first time because I love science fiction, so I'd like to try it out.
Oh yeah. And actually, at that time, that was the longest running sci-fi in the 60s. I think it ran for about 4 or 5 years.
They had some pretty complicated sets on that show, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. And he put down King Dolphin TV. So please subscribe to my channel. All right, so let us get going. Snorter Poopa says, I loved DS9 even if there was a serious lack of Kirk in a ripped shirt. Well, there was Kirk in there.
Yes, we do get Cisco and Kirk.
Yep. And Tribbles.
Yes. That's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And what is this about my chair squeaking? Oh, that's O'Brien getting WD-40 on my chair. Is it really that bad? I can't tell.
Well, Bashir and O'Brien were there, right? On the Enterprise?
Yes, they were. O'Brien lied to Kirk.
Yes.
He lied to Kirk. Well,
he did.
Yes,
about the fight.
About the fight, yes. So, John Randall says, meanwhile, the entire crew is crash beaming into one another. All right, so let us get started on our discussion. They had some really interesting interactions between some of the mostly the main characters, but you've got one character that he wasn't meant to be one of the main cast.
Right. He was almost not even part of the show.
Right. Your favorite character, Garrick.
Yeah, Garrick. Yeah. Yeah, he is my favorite character, and he has that's how Bashir gets to have two really great friendships that we'll talk about during this episode with Garrick.
Yes.
And with O'Brien.
Yep, we have we had Julian and Miles, and they were definitely. They started out the guys that I guess
They were
love
like
to
opposites.
love to hate. They love to hate each other.
Mhm. Well, at that point, Bashir was really talkative and kind of annoying, so
Mhm.
O'Brien just thought he was a waste of time. And and at one point, he says that later on when they are friends, he says that he hated him. That there's a you can only love or hate Bashir,
Mhm.
and 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 now he doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't hate you that much
Well,
as I did
no,
before.
no. The actual quote
Okay.
is better than that.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I have it here somewhere.
Okay.
So,
And while she's still doing that, hello, Tiger Stripes. How are you doing?
yeah, hello, Tiger Stripes. Great to see you there. Okay, so the quote is okay. So O'Brien was talking about somebody that Bashir liked, and
Mm-hmm.
O'Brien says, "I don't think she's in love with you," and Bashir says, "I don't think so," and O'Brien says, "It's the only explanation unless she really ignored you because she can't stand you," and Bashir says, "Isn't there some explanation in between?" And O'Brien said, "You're not an in between kind of guy." What do you mean? Well, people either love you or hate you.
Mhm.
Really? I hated you when we first met. And Bashir says, I remember. But now? But now? Well, now I don't. And so that was a really sweet moment.
Yeah, yeah. And then
And
yeah, that was and then
so, yeah, that was a way for guys to say I love you without actually saying it.
yes, now I don't. Yeah. But yeah, they've had a very interesting dynamic. They had hello old man, how you doing? They started out again, Chief being the crusty old uh, soldier type, crusty old chief, and here is this uh, plucky nugget, Shavetail, and just wants to make friends with everybody. I could see why Chief didn't really like him at the very beginning.
Yeah, yeah, because O'Brien tries to get him to not call him sir. Julian tries to get O'Brien to not call him sir because he's
Mm-hmm.
trying to make friends with him, but it's not
Yeah.
working. O'Brien's not having it. He's
Uh,
just he just um, is focused on the task at hand and
oh yeah.
whatever's going on in the storyteller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they continued, and then uh,
And
go ahead.
actually, they really don't get back to doing anything until O'Brien decides to build this racket court.
Mm-hmm.
And who's his first challenger?
Julian.
Yeah, Julian.
And the video, uh, the episode I saw, you see Julian just all over the place, which leads me to believe they really didn't want to. They didn't really want to plug in his secret.
Yeah, they didn't. Bashir definitely had a upper hand when he was playing racquetball, but O'Brien didn't realize why. He just felt older and out of shape in that at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, whereas we all know that Julian could clean anybody's clock in any dexterities game,
Yes.
such as the dart tournament, and where O'Brien says, "Okay, back up, back up." out to the corridor.
Yeah, right. Once he learns about O'Brien, once he learns about Julian's genetic modification, yeah, now he has to play with a handicap.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the one thing won. I always wondered when Julian complained about him missing valedictorian because of one question. Um, he probably missed the question on purpose so as not to get any attention to
Yes, I
himself.
think so. And it also gave him a story that he could tell. He loves to tell that story also
Mm-hmm.
about his major mistake that just he was just barely perfect.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's a perfect cover.
Yeah, perfect cover. Perfect cover. So let's see. And then they had once they started to get to know each other a lot better, they had, they built, well, first they did the Battle of Britain.
Mhm.
Uh, they were RAF pilots in the Battle of Britain. I still remember where they were ready to toss glasses in Quark's spar to break them.
Yeah, they had those holograms that they played.
Oh yeah, and then they had the Alamo
Hmm.
to the extent. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. And to the extent where O'Brien was making dioramas in the middle of his quarters,
Mm-hmm.
to Keiko's chagrin.
Yep. To Keiko's chagrin. You should put that in a museum. Yeah, I remember that one. Hey, Matt G, how you doing? Welcome. So their friendship definitely, evolved throughout the series, and but there were times that I remember a couple times
You,
where Julian had to pull the reins on, or had to pull rank on Chief O'Brien, like the one episode where they figured out the cure to the Tetracell addiction.
oh, right. That was a Hippocratic oath
Yep,
where
Hippocrates.
where they both had diametric opposing opinions on how to treat the Jem'Hadar.
Yep.
For O'Brien, they were the enemy, and they needed to just get out of there and go
Mm-hmm.
home.
Yep.
And Bashir wanted to save them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was a big ethical issue too, because if you save the Jem'Hadar,
you're saving your enemy.
well, and they're also very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
If you let something that was genetically engineered to kill everything, and you
Mm-hmm.
give them the freedom to do that everywhere, they might in turn start decimating worlds on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the consequences of that?
Exactly. And you see that again toward the end of the series, where
Mm-hmm.
they both do something absolute. Both of them. They do something absolutely crazy and go into Sloane's head to find Odo's cure.
Oh yeah, there was that time. They trick the Section 31 agent into coming on the station,
Mm-hmm.
so they could figure out how to heal Odo from that changeling virus.
Yep.
That infected the Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
And O'Brien and Bashir believe that they figure out that Section 31 created the virus, and that's how they know to get into his head.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually really like the passion these two have against Section 31, and how they want to actually dismantle it. And I always thought it would be really cool if they made a movie about that, because at the end of the episode they find a room inside of Sloane's mind that has all of these files.
Mm-hmm.
That if they could just read those files, they could have taken down Section 31.
Oh yeah, but they
And
didn't.
yeah,
But
and so in a movie, they could find someone else who has these same style files stored in their mind and actually get them this time.
Joe, you need to write the screenplay on that.
I never thought of making it myself. It's just a dream I have.
Oh, we could collaborate on that.
Yeah, but for now, the well, this is basically that Inception episode, and Bashir first supports O'Brien when he takes full responsibility for keeping their secret. Because they kind of keep it a secret from Cisco for a while, and before they finally tell him. And then O'Brien supports Bashir by going into Sloane's mind. And at the end, Sloane would have been prepared to take on Julian if Julian had been alone, but Julian admits that that Sloane never suspected that O'Brien would be there, so that's what threw him off.
Yeah. And this isn't the first time O'Brien's had Julian's back.
Well, wait, I wasn't finished with the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
I had just one more thing in that
Go
episode.
ahead.
There was this little speech about how they're best friends and that they have more in common with each other than the women that they love, and I thought that was really sweet because you do have a very different relationship with your friends sometimes, when you have more of a platonic kind of love, and that's what I had for that.
Yeah. And that was right. I think that was right after they got shot by the security guard, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. And Julian, yeah, right, because Julian felt like he got shot, even though he knows he really didn't.
Right. But this wasn't the first. This obviously, if you look further back, this isn't the first time O'Brien has had. Snort up poopas. Is that when Keiko smacked O'Brien?
Oh, right. That's the end of the episode, right?
I don't know. But Julian had his back when they were going. Julian was going to help Worf get Jadzia into Tovacor.
Oh yeah, that was great too.
In the second. I just saw this, and already the title of it just went out my head.
Image in the Sand.
Image in the Sand. Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome.
And I just saw it. I just saw it Monday. So shows what how good my memory is. But yeah.
Yes. Bashir is absolutely determined to help Jadzia get into Tovacor.
And O'Brien says, not says, but implies that Julian is not going to get back without his help. So they both go.
Right. He says, no, it means I'm going to risk my life for a friend who's risking his life for a very
very dubious cause.
Yeah, that was a really great moment too. So when everybody decides to help Worf, even though Worf isn't really receptive to it just at that moment, he was a little. He wanted to do it himself, but he lets everybody come along anyway, and eventually he appreciates it.
Oh yeah, even Quark. He appreciates even Quark.
Oh yeah. That was the best part when Quark decides to join.
Yes. Yeah.
Because all of the people who love Jadzia help with that, and that's pretty great.
Yep. And I love them. I know we're not talking about O'Brien and Julian, but I still thought that was a great moment when Martok shook Quark's hand.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At the end of that episode. But we digress, or I digress. So that friendship is just, it's probably one of the more unlikely ones.
Yes.
Because
because they have different personalities.
Mhm.
When So Julian tries to have one of those intelligent, cultured debates with the with O'Brien, like he has with Garrick, and
Mhm.
and O'Brien's just eating his soup, and just like,
Yeah,
um,
I'm at lunch. I'm eating soup.
yeah, this is if you his I guess somebody in his family told him that if you're doing two things at once, you're not doing either of those things very well. So
Right, right. Yeah, and I liked him in Armand, or not Armand Machine, but right after when they do the secret agent thing again. There's O'Brien with the eye patch doing the stick up on Julian's secret agent, but that's just a small part of the episode. But so Miles and Julian, probably one of the more unlikely friendships in Deep Space Nine.
mhm. Oh yeah, agreed.
Any other moments that you want to share before we move on?
Let's see. No, there's a lot of moments.
Oh yeah, all
There's
part.
Do you remember Armageddon game? Did we talk about that one?
That's when the let me remind myself. That's when They helped the Jem'Hadar take on the rogue Jem'Hadar,
Hmm.
where uh, yeah, when the Defiant went with Wei-Yun, the first time we see Wei-Yun, and the team of Jem'Hadar to take on that renegade group of Jem'Hadar.
And O'Brien gets sick, so Bashir is helping him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And oh yeah, yeah, O'Brien gets infected by the harvesters, is what
No.
happens there.
Oh, okay. Okay, I must be thinking wrong episode. What about Storyteller? We just discussed Storyteller. There's another one where they.
Oh yeah,
Start.
that's the genesis of their friendship. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first time that they meet,
Mm-hmm.
and basically he's just annoying to
Mm-hmm.
to O'Brien.
Yeah.
But they still work together and they still do what they need to do to solve the weird conundrum that O'Brien
Yeah.
finds himself stuck in, having to yell at some kind of cloud entity.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh, hello in the chat to Gary Ambrosia. I
Yes.
see him there.
And Scotty
And
R37.
hi, Scotty.
Yes. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the conversation here. Let's see. So I'm sure we can just talk a lot about Miles and Julian. Oh, I do remember one moment is after Julian came back from the prison camp, and
Oh right,
and
yeah,
Miles
and
says,
and and Miles comments on being friends with the changeling Julian.
"Yeah,
What does he say?
because he was so likable to that." Yeah, I think he was. He said he was so likable.
Hmm. Yeah, so he was wondering why he's
Yeah,
so much more like,
yeah, and then
because even though they're friends, they still have different they have similar interests, but they're also opposite in lots of ways.
mm-hmm, yeah, and you could on the next episode where they Julian blurts out his secret, you could see the
Mhm.
anguish. You could see the anguish that Miles has, because he was hidden there, listening to the whole thing, and then as Julian, no, it was his parents. it was his parents talking to the Julian hologram.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were confronting him about it, and they just let it slip,
Mm-hmm.
and Brian was listening.
Yep, and he was listening, and you could see the anguish or I don't know about anguish or disappointment in Miles' face.
Mm-hmm. Right, because they'd been friends for so long, and he kept this secret from everyone.
Yeah. Well, the thing is he would have gone to jail. But...
Yeah, he would have, but his dad ended up going to jail for that.
Mm-hmm. And he
because
kept his,
it kind of makes sense. Julian was just a kid. He didn't have any. It's not like he went out and tried to become genetically enhanced as an adult.
Yeah, true.
And so it makes sense for the parents to pay the price for that one.
Yeah, that's true. So, and Julian had another friend or acquaintance or interesting person that he had a relationship with. We have the infamous and Jill's favorite character, Garrick.
Yes, the first time we see Garrick and Bashir together is during past prologue. Julian is reading and having tea when Garrick interrupts him and introduces himself as he's the only Cardassian left on the station.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian is very kind and offers him tea, but also very candid with him about the rumors and goes directly for the questions that I think interest Garrick into him, right away. And he even tells Julian, an open mind is the essence of intellect. And so Julian immediately questions if Garrick is a spy, because those are the rumors that are flying around. And of course, then we get the famous tagline from Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
Just Garrick. Plain, simple Garrick.
Oh, Garrick, yes. Yep. And we know he's not we find out later that he is not just plain simple.
Oh, of course not. Those rumors were true.
Yeah. Yes.
And Julian, that first time he meets him, was so excited about meeting Garrick that he tells the whole bridge crew, like, I don't know if he realizes that a friendship is starting. He's just like, should you guys be bugging me? I mean, like, not like bugging me, but like putting a bug on me so we could figure out what's going on with Garrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yep. And I think where I know their friendship had been building up, but I think it coalesced in our man Bashir. That was probably the best.
Oh, that was so fun. That's the last thing I just saw to prepare for the stream. And it's the only thing I got slides for. So if you want to share that.
Sure.
I only got a few here.
Let's see. Yep, there is from our man Bashir. I would say this is probably the best, one of, if not the best, Bashir Garrick moment. It's probably one of them.
Yeah, because what happens is, I guess Garrick's noticed that Bashir's been absent. He's been spending a lot of time in the holodeck, and it's been a secret. Bashir's always such a chatterbox. The fact that he's keeping a secret is bugging Garrick so much that he intrudes upon his private holodeck time. And yeah, so then Garrick learns all about that, but it's not just his holodeck fun time. It turns out there was a runabout transporter accident, and the I guess, who is it? Cisco, O'Brien, Kira,
Worf.
Dax, Worf. and O'Brien, of course. I already said that.
and O'Brien. Yeah.
And they were on the shuttlecraft, and
Mhm.
they were being transported aboard the Deep Space Nine, but something went wrong, and it didn't work. So they had to. Somebody had to make sure that their patterns were saved on the ship, on the station.
Mhm.
But it was such a large amount of data that they had to wipe the memory core just to fit their brains on
Mhm.
on the station, and but the physical copy of just their images ended up on the holodeck.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good one. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
I hadn't seen the episode in so long. It was so much fun.
I'm trying to remember. Was the, yeah, was Dax one of the ones trapped in the holodeck?
Dax, yes, Dax was there. She was the scientist.
Oh, the scientist. Okay, she was the scientist.
Yeah, she had the glasses.
Okay. Yeah, Kira was the vamp.
Yeah, right.
Worf was the number one to the evil guy.
Yes.
Who assists.
Yeah, he was in the casino.
Yeah, he was the casino thing, and Cisco was the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Yes, he was the supervillain.
Yep, a la James Bond,
Mm-hmm.
which the first initials are also Julian Bashir.
And
small coincidence.
And you know what's funny is I love this episode, but I have never really watched James Bond yet. It's on my list of things to watch.
Oh, you start with Sean Connery.
Okay,
Start with the Sean Connery ones.
that's probably good advice.
Yeah. Legatus is putting out some jokes, Star Trek jokes.
Yeah, would you like to?
Yeah. How many Cardassians does it take to change a light bulb? Depends on how many lights you see.
Yes, of course.
How many prophets does it take to change the light bulb? None. That's a corporeal matter. Look at us. Yeah.
Right, for them, at some point the light will be on anyway, so the past, present, and future are all all the same to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that other joke was, of course, a reference to Chain of Command.
Yep. And then, how many ears does Captain Kirk have? A left ear, a right ear, and a final frontier. You know, Legatus, you're going to end up on the kiddie table on a Wednesday night. That'll be a first.
That's a classic. I like that one.
Yeah. Let's see. If Spock has pointed ears, what does Mr. Scott have? Engineers. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Did you have something?
One more. This one's from Snort. How are Cardassians and Kardashians different? One is a repulsive lizard-like creature, and the other is an alien from Star Trek. I've heard that joke before. All right, there is. I forgot what character he played.
Falcon. Yeah, he played Falcon. Falcon. And then after this, there's a big fight scene, and everybody gets all rowdy.
Yep. Yeah, and we see Falcon again in another episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Garrick looks pretty good in a tuxedo.
Yeah, he really does. Looks great.
And there's the monologue of the plan.
Yep. And there's Dax as a scientist there.
Yep.
And this part is kind of funny because Bashir knows exactly what to do to get out of the situation because he's played this program so much. So he chats her up, has her take off her glasses and her hair, and
a la James Bond.
Mm-hmm. And that's how he pickpockets her key,
Uh-huh.
And Garrick says, "Kiss the girl, get the key." They never taught me that in the Obsidian Order.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh,
Garrick, yeah, this part was a good part. And Garrick wants to turn back. He thinks he wants to save himself. Like he
mhm.
knows that if he kills the program, then his friends will die. But Garrick, I guess, is a little bit. Um, he's really all for himself, you know.
Mhm. He's the
And
pragmatist.
yeah, right. He's like there comes a point, he says, yes, they might be killed, and that is unfortunate, but there comes a point when the odds are against you, and the only reasonable course of action is to quit. And Bashir asks if that's what they taught you in the Obsidian Order, to give up when things get tough. And Garrick says, as a matter of fact, they did. That's why I managed to stay alive while most of my colleagues are dead, because I know when to walk away. And that time is now. And you'd know that, Doctor, if you were
Yeah.
a real intelligent agent.
Yeah. And he shoots but he shoots Garrick.
Yes, that's right. And he shoots him, and that, you know, Garrick doesn't believe it. He didn't believe that Julian would have shot him, and that, I guess, that was Garrick's now like, what if you killed me? And Bashir says, what made you think? What makes you think I wasn't trying? And
Mhm.
Garrick says, Doctor, I do believe there's hope for you yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
then they go on to, yeah. So this is where this is a I got a picture of that gunshot one too.
Huh.
And after that, I guess I don't have any more slides, so I'll turn that one off. But after that, Bashir uses Garrick's speech that he just gave him, and uses it towards Cisco to stall him,
Yeah.
and that gives them enough time. That gives the engineers Nog and, I mean, not Nog, Rom,
Mhm.
enough time to get them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because since O'Brien is in the holodeck and stuck in the ship,
Mhm.
Rom has to step up and help and,
Yeah.
and save the day. So that was a cool moment for him, even though we're not really talking about him.
Yeah. True. Or like Cisco wins, or the villain wins and says,
Right.
then I guess all I need to do is kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because Bashir pushes the button.
Yeah, he pushes the button. Yeah.
And Garrick at the end says, interesting, you saved the day by destroying the world.
Mm-hmm.
And Bashir says, I bet they didn't teach you that in the Obsidian
The
Order.
Obsidian Order. Yeah.
And the final thing Garrick says is, no. There was a great deal they didn't teach me, like the value of a good game of chance, or how indulging in fantasy keeps the mind active.
Yeah. Words to live by.
Mhm.
Words to live by. And then they they keep their relationship going throughout the season. Um, and Garrick's last moment was after Cardiasia has been totally ruined.
Yes, because of the Dominion.
Because of the Dominion. And
Yeah, because they're mad at them because Damar was going against the Dominion, and
mhm,
so the Dominion decided to punish all of Cardassia.
yeah. Well, it did take the Dominion annihilated a whole city in retaliation. But yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and but it, that was a poignant moment with the final talk with Garrick and Bashir among the ruins. So, all right. Before we go to our third couple, it sounds like the dating game or something like that. Let's take a look at.
Well, if you watch What We Left Behind, There is a certain way that Garrick is playing slightly that way.
Mhm.
You know, but that that is kind of what he's doing in
Yeah.
his performance.
Mhm.
Although it's never canon. It's not canon, but it is in the way he plays Garrick.
Yeah. He actually, they actually had a book, a DS9 book. Granted, it's not canon, but it was
Mhm.
a Stitch. It was called A Stitch in Time. It was the
Oh,
story. It was Garrick's point of view about the rebuilding of Cardassia.
I heard about that, and I've been wanting to read that one. I need to buy it.
Yeah. I had
Did,
it, but in so many moves, they it disappears.
did you ever read it?
Yeah, I had it, and it disappeared in one of my many various and sundry moves.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. I think it's called A Stitch in Time.
Mhm.
Let's see. Let's chat. While we're gonna take a little interlude, and we'll if you've got comments about Bashir and Garrick and Bashir and O'Brien, please put them out there.
Yeah, especially if you have some moments that we haven't covered. That would
Right.
be fun to.
Yeah.
Fun to
And of
read.
course, there are Star Trek jokes out there. Here's a good one. The Klingon version of Gone with the Wind. After all, tomorrow is another good day to die. I imagine Gone with the Wind sounds better than in the original Klingon.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. We did the Cardassians. We did the Prophets. How many Vulcans does it take to change a light bulb? Approximately 1.00000000000. I think I did that right. That was good. And we did the Cardassian. Lenrod suggests that you start with Dr. No if you want to start watching James Bond.
Okay.
Let's see. Sandra said, Lady Sandra says Bashir looks hot in the tux.
Yeah.
He does. He looks pretty good in the tux. I wouldn't say hot. And I don't know if we said hello to you, but hello, Andy Masterson. How you doing? And Legata says, so if I find some more good jokes, I can get a special table at Quark's. Oh, I got to get more. I don't know if Quark's has a kitty table.
Oh, before we finish with Garrick and Bashir,
Yeah.
I found one of their last. I don't know if this is when in the ruins, but
Okay.
this one is. This is. I think this might be their last talk.
Okay.
That Cardassia will survive. Bashir is saying that Cardassia will survive.
Uh-huh.
And Garrick says, please, Doctor, spare me your insufferable Federation optimism. Of course it will survive, but not as the Cardassia I knew. We had a rich and ancient culture. Our literature, music, art were second to none. And now, so much of it is lost. So many of our best people, our most gifted minds. And Bashir says he's sorry about that. And Garrick says, it's quite all right, Doctor. You've been such a good friend. I'm going to miss our lunches together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Bashir says, I'm sure we'll see each other again. And Garrick says, I'd like to think so, but no one can say. We live in uncertain times.
Yep. Yeah. So true.
Mm-hmm.
So true. Okay. Let's see. Another look at. Why did Worf change his hair color? It was a good day to die. DYE.
I think there was an article like that. But never mind. I don't want to talk about that. It was
Real trekkers work out at the.
That's a classic. I love that one. He's dead, Jim.
Since Jill laughed, you are given a pass from the kitty table, Legatus.
I laugh at corny jokes. So it works.
We vote him into the kitty table. Let's see.
Well, it's good if you gather all the corny jokes at the kitty table. You know where to go for them.
Yeah. Especially with all the goodies like eclairs and cookies and chocolate milk.
There you go.
Legatus, I believe it was a stitch in time.
Okay, Tiger Stripe says, "Well, now I have to know what Jill doesn't want to talk about." It was a joke article back when Betty White was still alive, and it said that she died, but it was spelled DYED, and you click on the article, and she dyed her hair. But now she actually is dead, so I didn't want to talk about it.
What? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she died right before she turned 100.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. John Randall says, I'd like to see James Bond done in a Shakespearean motif. That would be interesting.
I need to see some James Bond first.
Yes.
I'm going to work on that.
Cool, pudgy, cool.
But until then, all my knowledge of James Bond comes from Deep Space Nine.
The title actually wasn't a James Bond. Our Man Bashir. It was actually from a spy movie that had James Colburn in it. That was sort of a parody of James Bond. It was called the movie with James Colburn was Our Man Flint.
Oh, interesting! I didn't know that. I like to learn about Star Trek episode names and their origins.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the show the episode focused on James Bond. It was more James Bondish than the Our Man Flint, but it was still. I'm glad they homaged both spy franchises.
Mm-hmm.
And what was funny is I'm trying to remember, but I was trying to remember, but Flint was an expert in languages and could even speak Dolphin.
He could. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he could speak Dolphin.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
That you come up with that.
Yeah. There it is. Legatus confirmed it. It is A Stitch in Time, a 2000 Deep Space novel written by Andrew J. Robinson.
Cool.
So
I've got to read that. That's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of good things about that book.
Yeah. Garrick tells all to Dr. Bashir, revealing the past, the days in the Obsidian Order, and the reason for his banishment to Deep Space Nine. Okay.
And what was that? What was that one episode where Garrick keeps telling him the wrong story, and then that's where the quote comes. That quote comes from Garrick.
I do not remember.
What's true? What's lie? They're all true, especially the lies.
Yep. And Garrick tortures Worf that way too, with the lies about he wanting to go into Starfleet Academy. He wanted Worf to sponsor him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they're on the runabout, and yeah, he's just practicing lying. Like he just straight up tells him, "I was just practicing on you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In that same episode, I was trying to remember about the all the lies, especially the lies. It's called Improbable Cause,
Okay.
And they actually start off talking about William Shakespeare. Garrick is criticizing Shakespeare,
Mhm.
and and also at one point Bashir tells the story of the boy who cried wolf,
Mhm.
concluding that if you tell too many lies, no one will believe you when you finally tell the truth, because that's the classic interpretation. But Garrick has a different idea, that you should never tell the same lie twice.
Yep. Yep. Now, of course, Garrick is talking to the changeling Bashir.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, is that okay? Is this right after?
where let's see, the one where Worf and Garrick are going to try and find Tane.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, then he's still a changeling. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Snort says from the Scorpio killer to Garrick, quite an acting career. Oh, I agree. He's a very good actor. Okay, so we've talked. Oh boy. Borg answering machine message. We are Borg. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated, but we're not home right now, so leave a message at the tone and we'll assimilate you later.
Where did they go? Out to get some groceries or what?
Yeah, they wanted to. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one. Okay, so now we come to probably the best frenemies in the episode, and I love that picture you got of Odo. That what was that? The first out of the first? No. Fett got this, but I love this picture they got of him. That
Oh, do
looks
you
like
have it?
Fett made the design.
Oh,
But
right. This photo right
yeah,
back here.
the
Yeah.
photo. Yeah, the photo is. Here, let me see if I can. No.
Yeah, you can.
No.
It's one of those options where we disappear and you just see the picture, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's. StreamYards, quit tasking me.
Well,
Oh well.
yeah. Well, Odo's first interaction with Quark was
Mm,
in Emissary, so this was a relationship that started right away from the very
mm-hmm.
first episode.
Yep.
When Nog gets in trouble, well, it's the first one we see. This isn't actually the first time they meet.
Mm-hmm.
They'd known each other from the past, but we'll get to that.
Yep.
Nog gets in trouble because he was stealing something with this other alien, and
Mm-hmm.
Cisco orders Nog to the brig to use as a plea bargaining with Cork
Yep.
to in order to keep Cork on the station.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that's following Ferengi customs. And Odo says the first thing to Quark about Cisco, you know, uh, at first I didn't think I was going to like him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes Odo like Cisco, is what he does to Quark.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines Odo says in the emissary is, "You have all the career." I'm going to screw it up, but you have all the career qualifications of a politician.
Oh, he says that to Odo?
No, Odo
Oh.
says it about Quark.
Oh, Odo. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
When Cisco was blackmailing Quark, Odo says that while they're both in the room.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So yeah, they have quite the relationship.
Yeah, and actually in season 1, you get more of Odo and Quark than you do of the other two. The other two are developed over time. Well, this one's developed over time too, but in the first season, you get a lot of Odo and Quark.
Mm-hmm.
And they have lots of little moments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Oh, we have a newcomer here, JD Lewis, who is who is saying hello to you.
Hello, JD Lewis. Nice to see you.
Yes, welcome, JD Lewis.
So, in the episode Babel, Odo and Quark, Odo is relishing the trouble that Quark is having with his business due to the malfunctioning replicator. So that's the one where they
have the aphasia.
Yeah, everybody starts babbling due to this kind of disease that is spread through the replicators. Right. And Odo says, "Let's just say, without you around, my job would be considerably easier." And Quark says, "Without me around, you'd be forced to find some other poor innocent to persecute." Yeah. So that's the adversarial back and forth that they have throughout the series.
Mm-hmm. And then there was another really big Odo Quark moment was Ascent, where this was the time when he lost his powers and they had to go. He was turning Quark in because of some shady deal, because he attempted to try to get into the Orion Syndicate.
Right. Yeah. And Odo's taking him on the runabout to have him tried.
Mm-hmm. And they crash on a planet, and they have to be a team in order to survive.
Yes, they're trapped on the snowy world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was a brilliant way to use Odo's loss of powers, because if he were a changeling, he could have just, flown up to the top of the mountain. Mm-hmm. So this was really smart writing to take advantage of this detriment that Odo is suffering.
Yeah.
Because Odo is allowed to also face the same possibilities of Quark in terms of starvation and being a solid. They have some of the best lines here. Actually, this was a very good episode to start talking about, because this is where their actual feelings to each other are actually expressed.
Mm-hmm.
Have I ever told you how much I hate that smug, superior attitude of yours?
Mm-hmm.
And have I ever told you how much I hate your endless lying, your pathetic greed, your idiotic little schemes?
Yeah.
Well, I hate. What do you hate? You. Well, that's fine with me, because I hate you too. You're nothing but a petty thief. You're an arrogant. You can tell who's talking without even me saying who.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they start. It's not even a fight. They're slapping each other. They're not punching. They're just slapping each other.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, the fight is in the words.
Yeah, definitely.
Lecher, freak, fraud, fascist, failure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very good episode.
Yeah, that was season 5, and it was a great build-up.
Yeah.
What they had been feeling had finally boiled over, and they let it all out.
Yep. My favorite. Odo has a heart of gold.
Oh wait, are you done with the scent already? Because I'm not quite done with it.
Go ahead, please.
Because Odo breaks his leg, forcing Quark to care for him physically. Mm-hmm. But there was very smart humor thrown into that, because Odo's excuse for taking care of Odo is so that he won't have to starve. So he has somebody. And they say, "Don't you get it? I'm not trying to save you. I'm taking you along as emergency rations. If you die, I'm going to eat you."
Well, Ferengi are reputed to be cannibals.
Yes, and at the very end of the yeah, but I don't think that he really meant that. But at the end, he says, "You remember back there when I told you I hated you, and you told me you hated me? Vividly. I just wanted you to know I meant every word of it." So did I.
Yeah. There in season 7, there's a the a great heart of gold. Odo has a heart where he actually lets Quark win in one of his schemes.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he Quark is kind of working with Jake, and I forgot what they were trying to scam, but they were making every effort to get it over on Odo, and one of the ways they were going to do it is they were going to have Odo go on a date with Kira, so his attention is divided, so that Quark can still do his scheme. And it almost looked like Odo was going to win, but then he decided to go on the date with Kira.
Oh, right. Is that the date in the hollow
Yeah,
suite? The hollow
the
deck?
date in the hollow suite. Yeah, going to Vix.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was. So Kira asked, "Are you going to let him have this?" And Odo said, "I owe him one."
Yeah, right. And there's lots of times where they do that. They work together, or they give each other some sort of indication that they actually do care about each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Tiger Stripe says that ascent sounds like a great episode. It was.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yep. It was definitely a good Odo Quark episode, but among other good Odo Quark episodes. That's the nature of their relationship up to the very end.
Yep.
Where Odo walks into the runabout, not saying another word to Quark, and says, "He loves me." Quark says, "He loves me," to Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gary Ambrosia's heading out, working on some special content for Sunday night. Love to you all. Hail King Dolphin TV and Antiderivative Jill. Well, thank you for coming, Gary, and hope you had a great time and you have a great rest of the week.
Yes, have a wonderful day, Gary.
Yep. So, okay. I'm trying to see if the chat is going to say, come on, chat, this is your time to, you know how we do Wednesdays. Come on in and put your inputs in. And Dadman Walking's here. Hello, Dadman Walking. Okay. Okay. So we've gone through. Do you have any other Quark?
Well, I have a few.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Some moments with Odo and Quark are very small moments, like the time that Odo threatens to take down the holodecks and the walls of the bar just so that Quark will allow the Bajoran hearings, and he says this is blackmail, but Odo says no, it's just business. And then there's the episode "The Passenger," where Quark thinks that Dax is in love with him, I guess. And Odo says, "You're deluding yourself. There's nothing wrong with a good delusion. I sell them upstairs to dozens of people every day. Besides, there's something in her eyes when she looks at me. She seems to prefer spending most of her time alone. which I understand perfectly, says Odo. And Quark says, that must make her the perfect woman for you. And Odo says, I wouldn't intrude on her privacy. Some would. Yeah. And at the end of that, Quark says, it's good to want things. And Odo says, even things you can't have? Quark says, especially
things you can't have.
Yep.
What season was that? Do you remember?
That's season 1.
Oh,
That's just season 1. That's what I was saying before, is that they developed Odo and Quark right off the bat. They knew for sure. This is one of the anchors of the show. Odo and Quark are a huge anchor for the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and even in Vortex, there was just one small moment where Quark says, all those Starfleet officers greeting him in the airlock. You know, okay, so there was some kind of criminal or some kind of person on the station, and Cisco couldn't get anything out of him, but Quark was able to because he wasn't a Federation officer scaring them. So that's another thing about Quark. Quark's able to help Odo collect information that Starfleet would have more difficult time getting, because criminals trust Quark where they wouldn't trust anybody else.
Tiger Stripe says, LOL. I love that, especially things you can't have.
yeah, I know. That one jumped out at me too. That's why I have some of these quotes here that were just amazing.
Well, I like, and I'm going to not overly spoil the fact that I watched the next 4 episodes on the Clobberin stream, but I was very amused at when they're trying to find out the cause of the vandalism on the station, that Odo just decides he's going to deputize Quark.
Yes, that's right. That's a great one.
Yep, he makes him a deputy.
Yeah, because Quark knows about the weapons and the supplies that are going on between the Circle, because Odo just thought that they were just some hooligans, just some gang members. But Quark has that information that Odo wasn't able to procure, because he's been asking questions to people who don't give answers to people like Odo. And yeah, so Odo makes him a deputy instead of either that, or so you feel like this is a good friendship moment, but then Odo squashes it by saying, do it or go to jail.
Of course. And then he exploits the information and finds the real connection. So yes, those two work quite well together, although they are at odds quite often.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so they'll be adversarial until it comes time to survive, and then they work together. And
yep. Do you have any others?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'll go from order from there. Let's see. From there, I had Necessary Evil. And this is where Odo remembers the first time he ever met Quark.
Okay.
So yeah, he's looking for whoever owns the bar, and Quark says, "Does he owe you any money?" No. Are you here to arrest him? No. Then you found him. Quark, at your service. And first drink is on the house, but Odo's like, I don't drink. A soft drink then, because he's thinking alcohol. I don't drink. But no, I don't drink. He doesn't drink. That's when Odo's like, oh, you're the shapeshifter. And and he asks him if he does the Cardassian neck trick, but he's like, no, I don't do that anymore. And actually Odo's there to figure out if Kira killed somebody. I don't know, some kind of thing. I don't even remember the whole rest of the episode, but Quark tries to lie, and right away Odo, of course, knows that he's lying.
Lying, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, because Quark tries to say that Kira wanted to be a Dabo girl, but the real truth is she paid him for an alibi because she had sabotaged something. She sabotaged the ore processing plant just to give the people in the ore processing plant, a day off. And but yeah, that's that first time they meet.
Yeah. One thing I thought about was when she went back, well, it was probably manipulated by the prophets, but when she went back to investigate her mother, I am very surprised she didn't run into Odo and Quark, but it was probably, again, the prophets manipulated it. Whatever.
Wait a minute. What part are you talking about?
Where Dukat sent Kira. I know I'm digressing, but I was just had a train of thought that Dukat sent Kira flowers that her mother liked. And,
okay.
And so she
right.
went back in the past to investigate. And my thought is, why didn't she run into Quark or Odo if they were all over the station?
They were there. They were absolutely on the station. I don't know, but there was a very focused episode between the Cardassians and their relationship with
the
Bajorans.
Yeah, so I think it was manipulated, focused by the prophets.
Yeah, that's probably true, and especially since the prophets can be in all the past, present, and future all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So they can manipulate the timeline as if it's just a game.
So I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
to
that's
do that.
okay. You actually didn't. That was a great segue for that.
Okay. So
that is a good point.
I like Snort's thing. Quark knows where the bodies are buried and knows how to grease palms.
That's absolutely true. Yes. Now he'll do things that Odo would never do.
Yeah.
But sometimes what Quark will help Odo's goal of justice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is true. Let's see. Oh. Tiger Stripe says, I don't drink. I've seen these, but don't remember them in such rich detail. I have to rewatch DS9, sometimes Schumish. Yes. Yes, we're going back ourselves to watch Deep Space Nine.
Yes, if you want to know more about Deep Space Nine, go make sure you're subscribed to Clobbering Times and join us on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going through season 2 right now of Deep Space Nine. Yep. The first 4 episodes, so it's a perfect time to jump in.
Oh yeah. Do I have Clobbering Time? Yes, I do. I beat you, bot. Go on, Joe. I'm just cutting and pasting.
Okay.
I'm cutting and copying and pasting.
Okay, I had season 3, The Search.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Quark. Odo is put in the same room with Quark for this adventure that they're having. And Quark says that he feels much safer, but Odo is in the middle of he's been holding his shape too long, so he immediately has to go back into his liquid state, and tells Quark to not look, and he just gets belligerent with him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was really ready to tear Quark a new one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't amusing him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you give me a moment? I gotta mute for a minute.
While she's gone, let's see. Let's read some things here. JD Lewis says that especially the things you can't have reminds me of the having is not as pleasing a thing as wanting by Spock on TOS. Yes. Let's see. Snore Poopa says it's not a Friends or Frenemies episode, but I've got to give a plug for one of my favorite ST episodes of all times, The Siege of AR 558. Quark delivers that great speech about humans. Oh, yeah, that was so epic. And I love how Rom just says, I feel sorry for the Jim Hadar.
Yes, I agree. I love that speech too.
That speech is amazing.
I have that speech right here if you want it.
Oh, please do.
Let me tell you something about humans, nephew. They're wonderful, friendly people, as long as their bellies are full and their hollow suites are working. But take away their creature comforts, deprive them of food, sleep, sonic showers, put their lives in jeopardy over an extended period of time, and those same friendly, intelligent, wonderful people will become as nasty and as violent as the most bloodthirsty Klingon. You don't believe me? Look at those faces. Look in their eyes.
Yeah. You still there, Jer? Jill?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were done with the.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
good.
And then Nang's response was priceless. He said, I feel sorry for the Jem'Hadar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And there's
then-
Clobbering Time stream. If you want DS9 reviews, please like and subscribe and come there every Saturday night.
Yeah, I can't help myself. Anytime I have a stream or on somebody's stream, I end up promoting Clobbering Times. So it just happens.
I wonder why.
I have no idea.
Legatus says, until now, I did not realize Penny Johnson Gerald was on both DS9 and Orville.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. She plays Cassidy Yates.
Yep.
And she ends up marrying Cisco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But they don't get to. It's so sad.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, a kitty.
Yes, you hear a kitty cat.
Yeah.
There is a cat on Deep Space Nine. O'Brien gets a cat.
That's right. Bilby's.
Mm-hmm.
Bilby's cat. Yeah. Bilby's cat. And I love, going back to the O'Brien thing, I love in Prodigal Daughter, where O'Brien goes up missing and Julian is just trying to cover up for him and not doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Of covering up for him.
Well, at least he tries.
Yes, he does. He does. And he has to get the boot on his butt as a result.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh,
go
ahead.
No. I was going.
In civil defense, Quark and Odo get trapped by force field in Odo's office.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the whole station was locked down. I guess they lost control of the station.
That was that the time they checked out the ore processing and I activated a security program?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. I think so.
And they had to listen to Gul Dukat during the whole crisis.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly that episode. You're right. Thanks. And of course, Odo can't get out because the force field prevents him from shapeshifting out of here. So they're stuck for the whole episode in that room. And Garrick was the one to figure out that they have to turn off life support system in order to stop the gas.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that'll only give us them 12 hours to figure out what to do, because after that, everyone would die suffocate from losing oxygen. But Garrick says that it's the only way to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Quark and Odo are still just stuck in that room. Quark says, "I should have listened to my father. He always wanted me. He always warned me this was going to happen. What? That you'd spend your final hours in jail? I could have told you that." No, he warned me never to leave home. He said there were plenty of business opportunities right outside my door. But no, I had to follow the 75th rule of acquisition. Home is where the heart is, but the stars are made of latinum. A lifetime of scheming and plotting, wheeling and dealing. And what has it got me? One measly little bar. My uncle Friend owns 30, and my cousin Gaia. Odo, I know. He owns a moon. I told you that many times.
Yeah. Gala.
And and then Odo says something nice to him. Quirk, I've met a lot of Ferengis in my life, and the truth is, although many of them may have been more wealthy, I've never met one more devious. Really? Would I lie? I guess not. But then at the end of the episode, he's like, he says, 2 hours ago, you told me I was the most devious Frankie I ever met. But yeah, I thought we were going to die. I was trying to be nice. Name one Frankie who's more devious than I am. The Grand Nagus. All right. Name another. Damon Ty. One you personally know. Your brother Rom.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Snort says, "That's okay. Penny, Johnson, Gerald may have lost Cisco, but she ended up with Isaac and Yaphet." True?
Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, so Yaphet had been in love with her for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
only to be beaten out by a robot
Yep.
or a Kaon.
Yep. Tiger Stripes has got to take off. Take care, Tiger Stripes.
Yes, have a
Thanks
good
for coming.
dinner.
Yes, thanks for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the chat. Let's see. And of course, Lagana's Legion. I has to say, I hope you mean help eating dinner.
Yes, how to serve man.
Okay. Wow. There are a lot. Pop Culture Curator says, "Great stream." Well, I think so. I'd like to think so. We make a pretty good team here.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm hoping the chat gets to put in there. I know they're putting some stuff in, but I hope they put in more. Got anything else on any of the various relationships we had here?
I'm still looking through here.
Okay.
Oh
Sure.
yeah, okay. So there was a season 4 episode. I'm not sure
Mhm.
what episode this is, but Quark is supposed to be going to the emergency shelter. They're on the promenade, and but he decides he wants to stick with his bar.
Way of the
And
Warrior Part 2.
Oh, okay, great. And he has his disruptor pistol, so he thinks he could be safe. But then
And
he
it's
opens the box. What's inside?
pieces of his disruptor. Ram had to calibrate it to fix some sort of device at the bar.
Yeah, dear Quark, I use parts of your disruptor to fix the replicators.
Yeah.
We'll return them soon.
Yep. Yeah,
and then Quark says, "I will kill him." And Odo
Yep.
says, "With what?"
Throw the box at him. Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's lots more good moments I didn't get a chance to dig into. So
Yeah.
so there
Trying
we
to,
go.
I'm trying to. I was trying to think if there was one during the. No, it was. No, it was. Quark was trying to see Odo while during the Dominion occupation, but um, that's not quite a moment.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, yeah, the, these these relationships are just absolute. They, I think, they made a big part of Deep Space Nine.
I agree completely. The characterization on Deep Space Nine is so deep and wonderful that
Mm-hmm.
they pretty much make the show in several aspects in
Yeah.
terms of the storytelling and setting the feel and helping you relate with what's
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Yeah, and they decided not to just keep it with the big seven, but they spread the wealth on, like
Right.
with Garrick and Nog, Ron.
Yeah, Jake and Nog have their own friendship that we didn't really talk about.
Right, right. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, this we both, granted TOS is going to be the gold standard, but
Always.
Deep Space
But
Nine.
right. Well, with 2OS, you had Kirk, Spock, and McCoy as the most strongly developed
Mhm,
characters.
right.
And but with DS9, you have lots more developed characters.
Hmm.
So
Right.
there's more to explore.
And they work on the character. They worked on the characters.
Hmm.
That's what really, to me, makes this the second best of the series, of the various series. The
I
fact that
agree.
they put they they wanted to make the characters rich, um, rich and likable, and that you were invested in the characters.
Right. So when you get to the Dominion War, it's not just here's, some space battles. You actually care about what's going on because of the
Hmm.
characters.
Right, right, exactly.
And you have Cisco, looking at the casualty reports and getting really upset
Hmm.
about that and things
Yeah,
like that.
and then deciding in one of the in one of the best episodes of probably any TV episode, in the pale moonlight.
Yes, absolutely. That was also a good Garrick episode.
Yes, it was a good Garrick episode.
Yeah.
And
Because he does things that Cisco would never do
mhm, yep,
to get the Romulans to participate in the war.
yep,
Because at that point the Romulans were like, well, the Dominions aren't bothering us. We're just gonna sign this non-aggression treaty, and we don't have any reason to
mhm,
throw our dogs in this fight
yep, exactly.
because they're very self-preserving.
Hmm. Yeah. Hello, James Caserta. How are you? Okay, so I think this has been a wonderful discussion. And I know we keep promising that we're going to discuss the eighth season.
Oh, right. Well, we could talk about
What
that
you?
now. I mean, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen.
You've seen What We Left Behind.
Yes, I've seen it. Yes.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that here. If you want to talk about it now
Let's
or
see how
not.
much. We only got about 25 minutes. Sure, sure, we can do it.
Yeah,
So,
because what I love about this documentary is that we get a whole new episode of Deep Space Nine, and of course, it's not fully animated, but there's portions of it that are illustrated, and it's really well written
oh
because they
yeah,
have they have the real people who made Deep Space Nine working on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a very well done plot, and it should have been aired. It
Yeah,
really should.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, there were moments I really didn't like about it when they blew up the Defiant.
Oh yeah, that's how the episode starts. But
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that was fitting because the ships in Star Trek are characters, and we start with one character that I like. I do like Nog. He's friends with Jake, who teaches him how to read, and their relationship um, goes all the way up to when Jake decides he doesn't want to be in Starfleet. But
Mm-hmm.
then Nog figures out that it's his destiny.
Yep.
And Captain Sisko's last official act ever was, or I don't know, maybe not, was to make him lieutenant. So
Yep.
it's very fitting that the first thing we see here is Captain Nog to me.
Yep.
Of course.
Yes. And there were
And
things. Go
and
ahead.
it's also special that Nog was the one to bring everyone together for their reunion.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't like exactly that he dies and it has to explode, because it's even more heartbreaking that after that documentary aired, because at that time Aaron Eisenberg was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but after that documentary, he actually does die, and that was a tough day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't play Star Trek Online, but I heard that the game includes a memorial to Captain Nog, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But sadly, the filth has desecrated his name by making a starship after him.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and from what I remember, I stopped watching STD after the first season, but I understand when they went into the far future, there's a
Mhm.
starship Nog.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what
yeah,
that's from, but yeah.
yeah.
I stopped after season 2.
Oh,
I once I was siding with the AI who wanted to become an AI to destroy Discovery, I realized, why am I even watching this show if I hate the people on this ship? So I just quit.
okay. We did a digression here.
Sorry to
That's
bring
a,
up the filth, but
that's okay. I was the first one. Let's welcome some newcomers here. We have Papa Delta Yankee.
hello,
We
Papa
have
Delta Yankee.
we have our buddy Dalek 451. How are you, sir?
Hi, Dalek. How are you doing?
Sorry, I had a mute. And we also have the Writer brothers who say, let's see. Now, the Writer brothers say, Star Trek Online gave us an 8th mini season that was pretty good and the best story of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
If
then,
only I could ignore all of the filth in Star Trek Online, I would play it.
yeah,
Give me a DLC that deletes all of that, and I'll play.
yeah. Will be the 8th gajillionth show covering Deep Space Nine starting next month.
That's wonderful.
And that's a bad thing?
No, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, let's keep
The more, the
gathering.
merrier.
Yes, the more the
I'll,
merrier.
yeah, I'm already subscribed to the Red Brothers because of
Yes,
that.
please.
I'll subscribe to anybody who wants to talk about Star Trek.
Oh yeah, yeah. So welcome the Writer brothers.
And yeah.
And my co-host just finished at TNG and is about to start his first watch through. Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful when you have people who've never seen Star Trek before, because it's great to see how they perceive it.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Exactly. There's a difference from those of us who watched it first run, and those those who watch it, and those who came on long afterwards.
Yeah, actually, I was one of those people. I came after everything was all of real Star Trek pretty much was released when I watched it. When I got my hands on it, I binge watched all of it in college.
Wow, nice,
Yeah, so I watched all
nice.
of Star Trek in a matter of months. It
All
was
right,
it was some good stuff. That was good times.
yeah.
And
Well, go ahead.
and the episode continues, the 8th episode, with answering what happens to Cisco. He is existing with the Prophet aliens in non-linear time.
Mm-hmm.
In that last episode, he said they had work for him, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't explain what that work was.
Yep,
What we did know was that Cassidy was pregnant.
yep.
So in this 8th episode, we see Jake and his brother, Joseph Cisco, clearly named after his grandpa.
Yeah. That what I find is interesting is in the DS9 novelizations. Um, Cassidy had a girl, so the writers obviously said, "Nah, we're not going to go with the novels. We'll make him a man. We'll make him a
Hmm.
boy."
Yeah, and that was a great way to honor his grandparents. I didn't know about the novels, and there's so many Star Trek books I need to read.
Yeah, there's a whole series on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This episode also explains how Deep Space Nine became a holy ground after the war for watching the wormhole,
Uh-huh.
and Cisco said himself that Bajor was to be his home, so that makes sense why that happened. Why his where he last served would become a
A
religious
shrine.
ground. Yeah.
Shrine. Yeah. Now
Eh,
I don't remember, but did Kira end up as a Kai, or was she just a Vedic?
Oh yeah. I don't think she became Kai. I think she became leader of Deep Space Nine. So she was like Cisco, but not Cisco. Like more of a Bajoran leader, and she was the leader on Deep Space Nine.
Right, but she became clergy.
Yes,
I'm
I think
just
you're right.
trying. I'm just trying to remember if she became Kai or just a Vedic. I'll have to rewatch that.
Yeah, you will, because I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
but she was lead, she was leading a contingent of Jem'Hadar.
oh yeah.
Yeah, as in they were probably worshiping her or something like that, or it could have been Odo sent them there and said, "You will follow Kira" or something like that. I don't think that was ever cleared. All I know is there's a contingent of Jem'Hadar that follow Kira.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much in this
Hmm.
eighth season premiere that just you guys have to watch what
Yeah,
we
there was
have.
a lot to chew on for sure. Um, yeah, Worf actually meets up with Garrick, who Garrick tells him not to trust the Bajorans, even Kira. And Garrick proves this by showing that Kira has converted some of the Jem'Hadar,
Mhm.
which is really wild to consider them being part of the Bajoran army when their only purpose before was to serve the founders. But having had Odo change the Great Link may have also had a change in the Jem'Hadar, which was a really neat concept to bring in here. That would have been
Yeah,
really cool to see more of that.
yeah, yeah. It would have been. Let's see. The Writer brothers say she was Kai in the Star Trek Online story, but ends up giving it back to Kaiopaka after they find a way to get her off that planet.
Oh, that's so great. Oh, I love to hear that they figured out a way to get Kyle Paka off that planet. That's
Yeah,
wonderful headcanon there.
yeah. And then she assumes the commission as Captain Kira.
Wow. Captain Kira. What? She goes to Starfleet Academy and what? Wow.
No, that she
Well,
could.
she's a good captain.
No, they could give her a direct
Uh,
commission. That's what they did when she had to go
oh,
to Cardassia to help with their rebellion. They they gave um, they gave her a starship a Starfleet commission as a commander.
oh, cool. Okay. I didn't consider that. That
And
they
if
could just
they
give her the title.
and if Bajor ever became part of the Federation, they would convert all the militia ranks to Starfleet
That
rank.
makes sense.
Yeah. So she would end up as a captain one way or
Hmm.
the other.
Fair enough.
So
Um, so when I had heard about the Jem'Hadar working with Bajor, it made me wonder if maybe Odo um instituted a change so that somehow the Jem'Hadar soldiers are no longer tied to the Ketracel light,
mhm.
so they could become their own people, make their own choices,
Yeah.
and maybe start to grow from that, which also would have been neat.
Yeah, and that's also mentioned in the novelization too,
Oh yeah.
where
Well,
Odo,
obviously I'm not the only one to think of it apparently.
yeah, Odo sent he only sends one Jem'Hadar to interact with these people at the station. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
And
Hello, Pudgy.
uh Ira assume Bear then throws some Section 31 stuff in there too, but I don't remember exactly
I,
what was going
it's
on with that part. But it's really neat to see Ira Steven Bear and Ronald D. Moore working on a Star Trek episode in
yeah,
the 2000s. It's like, come on, actually do it.
yeah. Do it. Make a movie. Show them you can do better than the. Don't, don't show them you can do
Well, they
better than
can.
the.
They can
Yeah.
do better than the filth because they've got that Star Trek DNA.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. The Wright brothers say after Bajor formally joined the Federation, they absorbed the militia forces. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So everybody would have Starfleet rank.
And so even though we're only talking about this episode from the documentary, the entire documentary was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were a few holes in this episode, but I really love it, and I loved seeing what this writing team could do.
Yeah. We'll have to really, really on another episode, on another stream, we're going to have to really chew into this, go really in depth into this episode because it's.
Mhm.
I remember pieces and parts of it, but doesn't hurt to watch it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh. Hello, Pudgy Hedgehog with two ferrets watching. Pudgy waves as two ferret noses appear beside him. Let's see. And Alex says, been doing okay. 2 live streams in the same number of days, but gained 5 more subs. Congrats. Please subscribe to Dalek451. Let me see. I know I got one of you.
Yeah, subscribe to Dalek451. He has open topic streams, and he invites his friends on and puts the StreamYard link in the chat, so anyone who has a good mic is welcome to join and have
Yep.
some fun talks.
Yep.
You never know. It kind of
Yeah.
like just any kind of topics. Mostly pop culture, but anything could happen.
Yep. Indeed. Let's see. That's not it. How'd that happen? Stupid bot. StreamYards. Okay, there we go. There we go. And Snorter Poopa says, always remember that Kai means food in Maori.
That's good to know.
Yeah. If we're ever in Maori, we can have some Kai. Ooh, that sounds bad. That sounds bad. Snore, you're gonna get me in so much trouble.
Yeah, no, you can have Nurse Ratchet. I'll get something else.
Nurse Ratchet. Oh yeah, watching her in full effect in the Circle trilogy was just me. I was ready to tear her apart.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't watched the episodes yet. I just watched the parts with Quark and Odo for this stream.
Yeah. So I won't spoil them for you, so you can take a good look at them.
Right. Yeah, I know. I know there's something with Kira and Vedic, but I skipped through it because I was like, I gotta get through all of these episodes.
Yeah. So, well, this was great, Jill. As usual, you add so much to these DS9 discussions.
Yeah, and I had a lot of fun doing it too.
Yeah, I did too. It always surprises me that even though I have some gaps in my memory, I can. I've watched and loved it so much. I can bring out some things.
Absolutely, you go right off the cuff. You go right from your memory, and that is really impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So we're gonna start wrapping it up because we've got Sandra's got to work tomorrow at very early, and then I've got my flying mission tomorrow. And my goal is to get videos of the flying mission to provide for the next Just Cuz, so you could see so you could see the Guard, the Air National Guard, in doing what they do to help the state and the country. And I'm looking forward to that. And I will get into some show notes without the picture. This is Wednesday. We don't show the picture.
But first and foremost, safety first.
Yes, safety first. Next, okay, this Saturday, we will not have a Just Cuz. Snorter Pooper says, Louise Fletcher is probably a wonderful person. Only a wonderful person could play Nurse Ratchet and Kai win.
Well, she was such an incredible actor for her to make us hate her so much.
That's true. That is true. So, we will not have a Just Cuz on Saturday because I'll be doing family things, but we will do a Just Cuz on Sunday. Same time, 5 o'clock.
Cool.
And
it's going to be quite the Sunday.
Yeah. The warm up to Pop Culture Breakdown.
Mm-hmm. So you'll be going right up to Pop Culture, and then you're gonna.
Yeah. I'll probably go to about 8 o'clock, since we both have to work the next day.
Cool.
Yeah. And then on the 31st, the last day of the month, August will be done, and then September begins. Outer Rim Praxium, a Star Wars based organization where they teach the art of lightsaber duels and go with the Star Wars lore. On September 7th, already talking about September, we are going to have a romantic fantasy author, Jessica White. I met her at a Martinsburg Comic-Con, and she's graciously wanted to come on. So
that's pretty smart to get connections at a convention.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On the 14th, we're going to have Baron Ormantag. We'll be chatting on the debut of Surfside, the new segment that King Dolphin TV is going to have, a Surfside chat, where we don't have a structure. We just chat about whatever may come up. And then we will have a comic artist on the 21st, Christina Hoffman. She will be on. We're talking about her work. So the end of August and the beginning of September is going to be really busy for us. And of course, we will have Just Cause. And September and October may be times where we're going to have to switch from Saturdays to Sundays because of stuff that I've got going on. But we will have Just Cause. Just Cause. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I know later on, I think October, I will interview you about your channel.
Oh wait, when's that? I forgot about that completely.
Yeah. It's a while. It's a while.
Okay, it's a while. Okay, great.
Yeah, let me just double check.
My channel has changed a lot since you asked me that.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's gonna be let's see, October 12th.
October 12th. Okay, you got it.
So we got a lot of time.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll be doing more of this Deep Space Nine conversations because I just love Deep Space Nine and I love talking with you about it.
Awesome.
I think it's, everybody's doing reviews. Clobbering's doing reviews. It's nice to talk about things outside.
Overarching themes are really fun.
Yeah. Yes. And breaking it down with you is absolutely awesome. Awesome. I enjoy working with you on that.
Same here.
Excuse me. And Legata says, you're a Deep Space Nine fan when you name your teddy bear Kukalaka.
Oh yeah, that was Julian's teddy.
Yep, that was Julian's teddy, the first creature he did surgery on. So, okay, so let me say thank you for all the people who came on and to enjoy the. Snorter Poopa says, I won't say what Kukalaka means in old high earth sign. I know you, Snort. It probably means bone crunching, death and destruction, and eat raw meat or something like that. It means a lot of mayhem. But you're such a gentle bear, Snort. Let's start by thanking our wrenches who came on to help things out. We had Legatus Legionai with his amazing humor. And we had John Rendell. I know he had to divvy up doing cleanup work and time here, but thank you for coming. We had Lenron. Thank you very much for being here, Lenron. And of course, would I be remiss? Hey, Snorter Poopas! Cuber. So, thanks a lot, Snort. And then we had our chatters. We had Psychosis 29. We had Tiger Stripes. We had the old man. Andy Masterson came on to visit. We had the pop culture curator, Scotty R37. Gary Ambrosia stopped by. JD Lewis came in, a brand new person around here. Hope you subscribed and hope you enjoyed what we did here. Dan Man Walking came. James Concerta was here. Papa Delta Yankee was here. My friend Dalek 451, thank you for being here. The Writer Brothers, new people on. Hope you enjoyed our discussion of Deep Space Nine and that you will subscribe. And of course, Pudgy Hedgehog with his friend Ferrets came in. Thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoyed our discussion. I certainly did. Cannot forget Lady Sandra Feliciano, our producer and our wrench wench. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, and love you, sweetie. And oh, I got to tell you this. You all know this was our anniversary that this past Sunday. I decided to do something really cool, really unique for our anniversary. So I decided. I just saw a site. One of the YouTube channels pushed me to the site. Um, it's called Established Titles. You go on, you buy a very small plot. It's 1 square foot plot of land in Scotland. And as a result, you get the title of either Lord or Lady. So I decided to buy two square feet. And so Sandra is Lady Sandra, and I am my alter ego. I'm still King Dolphin, but my alter ego is Lord Raymond Fleece.
Yeah, right. You're still King Dolphin, but I forgot that you're also Lord Raymond.
Yeah, my alter ego is Lord Raymond. I've told people at work about this. I've told friends, and they absolutely love it. And the good thing is they plant trees on these plots.
Oh, that's wonderful. There's a good side to it too.
It's a very good side to it. So
nice.
So it was. Sandra loved it, and everybody I've talked to about it think it's very cool. So might be a cool gift to give to somebody. So yes, a shameless plug. That'll be the last time, but I just wanted to tell everybody what I gave her for her anniversary.
No, that's really sweet.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Snort says, square feet are hard to walk on. Yeah. John Rendell says, come on over for open mic night. I think I have Baron tags. Let's see if the bot cooperates.
And since I could finally say it out loud, happy anniversary to you and Sandra.
Yes, thank you. Let's see. I know I got the Baron. Do I have the Baron? Oh, no, I do not. I do not. Oh, well, subscribe to Baron Norman Tag. John, if you've got the link out there, if you could put it out there.
I didn't even realize Baron Norman Tag started the channel. When did that happen?
He's been there. I think.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he has been around for a while.
Sandra's the Lord. Thank you, John. We do the best we can, but we can't do it without you guys.
He's been on for a year, and I didn't know. Okay, cool.
And Jill, you've got a stream coming up on Friday, the 12-week tea time. What's going on there?
Okay, so this is a 12-week tea time that I'd never decide to this is a topic that I'd never decide to talk about myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to discuss with Scotty R37 about Janice Crosby and her time on Star Trek, and he's going to discuss her actual entire filmography career.
Oh boy!
So
I remember her. I remember her in 48 Hours. She played a hooker in 48 Hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that'll be interesting. I've got to work on that.
Okay, where's Jill? Okay, there's Jill. Okay. Yeah.
But it kind of follows a theme because last time we talked about generations, so this is another poor death that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, and there is Jill. Here is Jill's channel.
Mm-hmm.
There's Jill's channel.
Thank you.
See her on Make Tea Time on Friday. And actually, since I'm off, I may be able to come on.
That would be great. Cool deal.
And there must be Baron Norman.
Oh, Snorapupus says you need to buy Snoopy some land. So he could be
Lord Snoopy. Oh, that would be. He'd probably steal the certificate and beg, try and get us to trade it before he shreds his own lordship.
Mhm.
Nora Pupus says she had a career. So,
You're right. I didn't even know that myself.
who'd have thunk it? Yeah. All right. So, Jill, again, this was great. Wonderful. I always enjoy you coming on, whether it's on the panel or whether it's on one-on-one.
Well, yeah, you have a really great channel. I really do enjoy the panels where I can just chill out and listen to all of the fun
The shenanigans.
shenanigans. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, what was that? So everybody, you all have a good night. And Joe, if you could stick around after the stream. And in fact, to close this out, one of the closeouts, put back on Miles. Come on, bring us Miles.
Okay, I need a moment.
Okay.
What's going on?
Yeah, let me go through. Let's see. Raymond is a dame lady of the Dolphin pot. Bite your tongue, Legatus. Yes, it's not over until the fish jumps and the polar bear swims. Yes, we got a polar bear in the ending. Okay, here we go. Everybody, you have a great evening. You enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you Sunday for Just Cause. Be safe, be happy, and be well.
Have a great weekend.
Ooh, no sound. What happened?
Oh. Did I?
Is that my end or?
Is there a problem?
It's not muted.
Was there a problem?
We didn't get any sound.
No sound? Okay, let's try again.
Okay.
Take two.
Take two. Lenrod says, no sound. The copyright gods have struck.
Let's try again anyway.